All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today for our press conference ahead of the historic battle at the Birthplace presented by Autoland this Saturday between Rutgers Wrestling, Princeton Wrestling, 11 a.m. here at High Point Solutions Stadium. First outdoor dual match for both these teams. Right now, weather's looking good for Saturday, high of in the low 60s, sunny. And right now, tickets out are a little bit under 14,000, just to give you guys an update on that. Joined today by Princeton head coach Chris Ayers, two-time NCAA qualifier Jordan Laster, and NCAA All-American Brett Harner. And for Rutgers Wrestling, head coach Scott Goodale, two-time All-American Anthony Ashnault, and NCAA qualifier Nicholas Gravina. So with that, I will open up with opening statements from each coach. Chris Ayers will get us started, followed by Coach Goodale, and then we'll take questions for the coaches and student athletes.
First and foremost, just want to thank Rutgers for including us in this event. When Scott had asked us if we'd be part of it, we were pretty quick to say, oh yeah, we'll be a part of it and we'd like to help. So it's pretty nice to hear that there's 14,000 tickets sold, probably more than that by the end of the day, I'm guessing. And we'd like to see over 20,000 people at the match. The weather is cooperating. I've been checking it obsessively for the last 2 weeks, basically, and it looks like it's going to be really nice. So the excitement of the event, my guys are ready. It looks like it's going to be a good duel. It depends on what you look at, what rankings. They're 15th in some. We're 20th in others. I think we have 6 guys ranked in the top 20. I think they have 5 or 6 guys as well. So it's going to be a battle of matchups, to be honest, and there's a lot of good ones. So just excited to be here and looking forward to getting it going on Saturday.
Yeah, like Chris says, we're also excited to be here. Before I get into all that, I want to thank our sponsors from Autoland, Mark, for everything you do and what you've done to really help this out. It's been tremendous. It's going to be a great turnout. Like Chris says, close to 14,000 fans. Tickets already sold. There should be a tremendous walk-up crowd with the weather that they're anticipating. But who knows with the weather, right? As long as there's no precipitation, we're ready to wrestle, and I'm sure those guys are as well. It's been a great partnership with the Princeton guys. We spent a lot of time with them, whether in person or on the phone, really trying to make this work. We've had tremendous support from our administration, from their administration, all the way from Pat Hobbs down. Jeff Brown and his staff, Lisa Carone, have done an unbelievable job of really making this thing go, allowing our coaches to coach, our wrestlers to wrestle, and really basically showing up on match day and hopefully putting on an exciting dual meet. Like Chris says, it's a tremendous matchup. It really is. On paper, it's probably a 5-5 split. I think the way we see it, we're favored in 3, they're favored in 3, and then there's probably 4 really, really good toss-ups. And there's some great individual bouts that are going to take place not only this Saturday, but probably along the lines at the national tournament in March. So it's exciting. That's what you want. You want to have a great atmosphere. But more importantly, you want to have great wrestling. And we're hoping. I know these guys to my left are excited to wrestle extremely hard, as I know, Jordan and Brett are going to do the same over there. So with that being said, I guess we'll open it up.
Are you as obsessive about the weather? I know weathermen are as accurate as sports writers, but I mean, when you see the forecast, it looks pretty good.
We've had our eye on it quite a bit, and we've even had some contingency plans along the way. Last weekend we were talking about bringing in tents, and we really want to wrestle this thing outside. But again, the fans, it's important for the fans to be able to see the mat. But as it turns out, it seems like it's going to work out. So. But yes, I was pretty obsessed by it.
Coach, I guess this is for you and the guys. What's it been like training for this? Has there been any special, things you've been doing?
Nothing's really different than any other year. For me, it's training to be a national champ at the end of the year. But this is a really exciting event. None of us on our team has ever been able to wrestle in front of this many people at one time and outside in a football stadium. So it's just really exciting. It makes it a lot easier to train for, a lot easier to get up for, and everyone's really excited to be a part of it.
Has there been any outdoor training, though?
We've had a couple outdoor practices to prepare for it. Fridays, traditionally, since I've been here for 10 years, we train in the football stadium. I think 3 weeks ago it was 38 degrees on a Friday morning, and our shirts came off and we started wrestling to prepare for, that cold. But there was no sun out at 7 a.m., so it's going to be nicer than what it was, 38 degrees. But honestly, and I've never done this. But I would like to think when the lights come on and two guys put their foot on the line, it's going to be about, forget the weather and what it feels like, it's going to be about trying to score points and winning matches and ultimately getting your hand raised. So I don't think these wrestlers, that's even going to come into play. That's just the way I see it.
For both coaches, is this kind of the way? I know Iowa did one last year. Is this kind of something that's becoming a trend in wrestling, and even beyond outdoor matches and football stadiums? Do you have to kind of stay on the cutting edge and do stuff in a sport where it's kind of like on the fringe between mega popular?
Yes, we want to be involved in huge events, and you have to showcase the sport. Is what I've been preaching the whole time. I think where wrestling has fallen short is that we don't give ourselves enough credit and we don't get out there and promote enough. One of the guys on staff, Coach Dubuque, one of his primary roles is to promotion, and we have a promotion surrounding everything we do. And now that we've done this, I think it just says to everyone else, you can do these things. You can get 15,000 people, 30,000 people to a wrestling event if you do the right things leading up to it. It doesn't have to be like a high school gym with 12 people. You can promote it, and what's really going to draw people, I think, are the matchups. Like he said, this duel is going to be a good one. And if you look at our programs, we've kind of been on a pretty steep trajectory right next to each other, and so this is a big moment for both of our teams.
No, just well, I guess yes, I do. It's the cutting edge. It's I think the best thing about being in Jersey is we're able to do this in front of, hopefully 20,000 people. You can't do that everywhere. You could do it in State College, Pennsylvania. You could do it in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Maybe you could do it in Minnesota. And obviously you can do it in Iowa, but you can do it in New Jersey. And I think that's what's made the best partnership here with these guys is we're both from Jersey, and we've really sold some, asked people to buy some markers here and say, come on out for this. But you could do it here, and that's hopefully what we show wrestling.
For Jordan and Brett, Rutgers gets a lot of coverage. No secret, we cover a lot of them. But to be on almost like a national stage in some, or at least a statewide stage, any added motivation to actually have that spotlight on the program and you guys?
I definitely think there's added motivation there. For me personally, at the NCAA tournament, I've had the most fun ever wrestling both years. And I feel like this allows me to really have that motivation to really enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, I definitely did. I'd second what Jordan said. As far as our training goes, we're still, we kind of basically treat every weekend the same with small alterations throughout the year. But definitely getting up in the morning and kind of pushing through, knowing that we have the opportunity to perform in such a large crowd that's passionate about both teams and kind of the success of the sport. Definitely has made it a bit more exciting preseason thus far.
I don't mean to turn this into one of those like boxing things where you guys are and you talk trash to each other. Although if you guys want to do that, that'd be great. For Jordan and Brett, how important is it for you guys to beat Rutgers? Because I think they've won something like 10 in a row or 19, and there's that trophy. What does it mean for you guys? I know you have your regular schedule, but what does this mean to you guys?
I'd say, it's our senior season. We want to go out with a bang, stomp Rutgers. I think it's about time we did it, and we really want to be known as the best sport at Princeton University, and I think this can really put us there.
Yeah, for me, I think one thing I hate most, losing to my friends. I'm pretty good friends with a few guys on the team. Dippery's one of my better friends throughout high school. So it's been a match I've looked forward to every year. Came a bit short the last 3 years, so definitely want to get this one back.
And then Anthony, now I'll give you the chance. Your match against Matt. I know you guys, I think, were 1-1 last year, but you don't lose very often. So, what's your, mindset looking into that match?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. I feel like I've grown a lot since then. But he's a great opponent, and I'm looking forward to competing against him. But at the end of the day, I'm going out there to get my hand raised, and really I want to show how much better I've gotten since that point. So I'm looking to put on a show and wrestle my hardest, and whatever the outcome is, the outcome's going to be. But I'm definitely going to go out there, wrestle hard, look to score a lot of points.
Do you guys have any history? Like, did you wrestle in high school or?
Not really. Maybe one off-season tournament, but it wasn't really ideal circumstances for him, I don't think. So really just last year.
I guess for both guys, Scott kind of talked about the outdoor matches that you have, or practices that you have inside the stadium. What are those like? Where 7 a.m. practices. What was it like actually going outside in the stadium? What were those practices like?
Well, like you said, in previous years we've been out there and practicing. 7 a.m. stadiums are not a first-year thing. I think it was nice to go out there and try to start wrestling during those stadiums, just because I feel I got a little bit more confident with it, and I think that it made us get used to the weather a little bit, and it was really helpful.
Anthony,
It's nothing new that we did, but it was definitely a little testing our minds when we had to take our shirts off in 40-degree weather at 7 o'clock in the morning. I remember some of the guys that were starting to come down for certifications were kind of complaining about it, but that's going to be the kind of circumstances we have to overcome when it's time to go. We don't really know what the weather's going to be like, even though they're forecasting it's going to be 60. You never know. I don't think weathermen are always too true on their word, but hopefully they are this time, and hopefully it's nice and sunny. And I know when I step on the line, I'm probably not going to even notice it. I'm just going to be looking to win the match and put up points for my team.
How accurate are sports writers?
Well, you guys do a great job.
I guess just Chris, how did this all come about? Like, how did you get to this point that you guys are at this match?
I'd like to think that I came up with it, but I didn't. Scott actually reached out to us kind of out of the blue. It was just one afternoon in the office, nothing out of the ordinary. And then, Goody calls and says, "Hey, do you guys want to wrestle us in the football stadium?" And yeah, at first you're like, "Wow, okay, let's think about this." So actually, I think we got both staffs on the phone, right?
Yeah.
So we just put everyone on conference. I think they're much like us. Really, decision isn't made without everyone talking about it. So we kind of talk things out. Is this possible? Can we get that many? And at the end of the day, we said we'd hustle, and they said they would hustle, and we were going to try to fill the stadium as much as we could. And then it was like, yeah, let's do it.
Do you guys both have your lineup set? And if not, like, where are there questions in your line? I know you used a couple different guys at a couple different weights. Where are you guys with your starting lineups?
Good, Chris. You could take that one.
We're pretty solid.
Coming to you next.
Yeah, we're pretty solid. We know who we're going to have. 25, pretty much. 65 is a little up in the air yet, but for the most part, I mean, he knows who they are. But 65 would be the only question mark right now.
We used a lot of guys this past weekend, and we'll have to really sit down and watch. I mean, we've watched a bunch of their tape already, but we'd have to sit down and give us our best possible matchups. The one thing we have is the ability to use different guys based on matchups, but I would think for the most part we're pretty much set. Like, we kind of have an idea where we want to go. There's like 2 or 3 that we just don't know where we're going to go based on weight and all that good stuff. But you'll know every guy that goes on the mat. That's for sure. There won't be a secret once they step on the mat.
For either coach, I mean, you both can answer, but the rivalry between Princeton and Rutgers, I mean, you're going to go inside the stadium and see the Birthplace sign, a lot of other sports, but how much pride do you take in continuing that legacy that's really gone on since the 1800s?
Yeah, and you guys know this, I'm a huge college football fan, so that's pretty cool for me, and I thought when we came up with a name, I don't know who it was, Jeff, I don't know if it was you or Lisa or someone threw that name out. But it was pretty cool, and I thought right away college football and all the history that's gone on here and the history of Princeton. So just made sense, and yeah, it's kind of neat. It's again, great atmosphere, and just a neat thing, out of the box type thing, and that's what has us excited.
For me, I think this is just the beginning with our rivalry. I don't think Scott envisions his program anywhere else but being in the top 10 consistently every year. I think we can do the same thing. So I kind of feel like this is a starting point to have a really good rivalry with two top 10 teams. I think we're just outside of the top 10, and we're going to both be there. So it's going to get even more exciting as we get down the road.